Hey everyone, we're live for NRT Live. Thanks so much for joining us. My name's Grace Chavez. I'm the assistant news editor for newreleasetoday.com, and I also manage about 90% of the stuff on that you see on New Release Today's account. So in case you don't know what this is NRT Live. Every month I'm going live with a Christian artist on their release day to talk about their new music and stuff, just to catch up with them, have fans get to know them. And you may notice if you've been watching this that something's a little different today. I'm going to be talking to Peabod, and he just released a new album, and his theme has been balloons. His album cover has been balloons, so I thought I'd embrace the theme. No, it's not a virtual background. I had to hang these up. And just before this, I accidentally nudged this balloon back here and it fell down. So if anything happens, that's why. But I'm going to have Peabod come and join us, and I saw that he's in the chat. So we'll get started. And if you guys have any questions at all, just put them in the chat box, and we'll see if we can get to them. Hey, how's it
Hey,
going?
good. How are you?
Good.
Thanks so much for having me today.
Yeah, of course. It's great to talk with you.
Yeah, you too. I love the balloons. Those are so
Oh,
fun.
thank you. I took inspiration from some of your pictures that I've seen.
Yeah, we had fun with those balloons. It was funny because for that video shoot, we we had to blow up like 100 or probably more than that, probably like 200 colored balloons and 200 gray balloons,
hmm
and we were like, I don't know how much helium we need for this, but we went through like two whole tanks just
Oh
like
man,
blowing up balloons. It was crazy, but
man. Yeah, and I thought blowing up 10 was a lot, but
well, they look great. They look great. Nice
thank
job.
you. So first, I know there's probably some people on here that don't know you. So just tell us about you and why you decided to make music.
For sure, yeah. Oh, I see my guy Kiwi in here. Hey, what's up? Um, yeah, my name is Peabod, and that's not my actual name. It's a nickname.
hmm
Isaac Peabody is my real name, and when I was in college, there were two Isaacs. So for some reason, he got to be Isaac, and I was Peabod. But so that's where I got the name from. I have been writing songs for a long time, but didn't start making hip hop music until after college, and just kind of was experimenting. And I'd written a lot of like folk music before that,
hmm
and had really good supportive friends who'd come to my shows and stuff. And I started releasing hip hop stuff, and they were all like, I like this way better than what you've been releasing. And I was like,
hmm
oh, okay, well, maybe there's something to this. So that morphed into my debut project, which is called Healthy Snacks. And
hmm
now we just released a new EP called Growing Up Part One.
hmm
So it's been a journey, and it's been real fun.
Awesome. And speaking of which, I was going to talk with you about that. What was the inspiration behind Growing Up Part One?
Yeah, I kind of I'm always thinking like two projects down the line. So
hmm
I've which is a little bit frustrating sometimes for the label because they're like,
hmm
just focus on what you're making right now.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, as soon as Healthy Snacks dropped, I was like, okay, where are we going next? And we were kind of experimenting with singles that became the Backpack EP.
hmm
But that was really just kind of like a collection of like, let's figure out what my sound is and try some new stuff. Um, and so for growing up, I was like, I really want to. I'm kind of known for like happy raps, and which I
hmm
love, and I will always do that. But I was like, I wanna go a little deeper than just happiness here. I wanna talk about a little bit of my story, and also like I think deeper than happiness, there's joy that we get to
hmm
experience when we know Jesus, that gives us a truer sense of happiness
Yeah.
because it doesn't depend on our circumstances. So um, recently, in the last few years, I walked through a season of just kind of bitterness and being
hmm
frustrated with some Christians that I knew that had either hurt my feelings or like friends of mine,
hmm
and was just having a hard time with that. And God was just so faithful to meet me meet me in the middle of it,
hmm
even before I just had like barely kind of taken a step in that direction of like, okay, God, I think there's some stuff I need to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just really faithful to kind of walk me out of that. And I think that as I started writing for the project, I was realizing that that's really the struggle of growing up is
Mm-hmm.
realizing that the world is a hard place to live in,
Yeah.
and wrestling to not be bitter, and
Mm-hmm.
to lean into Jesus, and lean into I don't know, lean into good things. So that's kind of where the
Mm-hmm.
story came from. And the arc of the EP. There's going to be a part two, so it'll
Mm-hmm.
tell a little bit more of the story then. But the arc of the EP right now is like kind of starting in a place of like excitement and a little bit of nervousness to go
Mm-hmm.
on this journey, having some kind of optimistic uh, and maybe slightly naive ideas, um, and then getting your heart broken, and
Mm-hmm.
being bummed out and bitter and crying out to God from the pit and watching him show up and meet you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like the story arc and the
Yeah.
whole thing. That's
That's
probably
so
more than
good.
you wanted to know, but
No, it's fine. It's great. Yeah, I just listened to it today and it's so good.
thank you.
Really
Appreciate
good
it.
music.
Thanks so much.
And then your new song, Love Everybody, which is on the new EP, is featuring hip hop artist Tadashi. What
Yeah.
was it like working with him?
Oh man. Well, I mean, as a kid who grew up on on Christian hip hop, like
Hmm.
Tedashi's like top three in my book.
Yeah.
He's amazing, and he's just so good at his craft too because he's got so much experience. So, um, through it was kind of a long shot. My manager knows Tadashi, and like I didn't know him, but I knew a couple
Hmm.
of people who did. So we were like, let's just see if maybe he'd be interested, and
Hmm.
we kind of threw it out there, didn't hear anything for a while, and then out of the blue, we got this message. It was like, yeah, I dig this, I'm in. And
Wow.
then it was so surreal to like get the file back with his verse on it and be like,
Hmm.
oh my gosh, this guy I grew up listening to is on my song. So, and we got to connect a couple weeks ago over the phone, and he's just like the most genuine, kind person.
Hmm.
So I feel super, super humbled and grateful to get to work with him.
Yeah, it's so cool. And then what has it been like working with Centricity? I know you talked about them a little bit.
Yeah. So really, I think I would not be doing what I'm doing without Centricity.
Hmm.
I that first hip hop project, Healthy Snacks, I actually originally released independently, and it was absolutely my intention to like release that as a fun thing and then go back and write like some acoustic stuff,
Hmm.
which I still do for fun occasionally. But my idea was like this is a one and done kind of just throw it out there sort of
Hmm.
thing. And Centricity got a hold of it, and they're like, we're really excited and we think we can build on this. And I still feel pretty clueless in the music industry a little bit. And
Hmm.
so they really like took a risk with me and signed me before I had any sort of platform or following. And
Hmm.
it's I owe a lot to Centricity. There's really,
Hmm.
really good people there,
Oh
and
yeah.
they all really love Jesus. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, I definitely couldn't have done this project without them for sure.
Yeah, I've worked with some of them on interviews in the past, and they're really awesome people.
Cool, cool. That's awesome. Yeah,
Hmm.
they're all so sweet. I love that group.
Hmm. And then, how have you seen God use your music to impact people?
Mm. Um, Man, that's always a really humbling thing because I think like I get to experience such a gift just in writing the songs because I really feel like that has been a place of refuge for me to go to
Hmm.
songwriting. It just kind of like gets me into this prayer mode that is kind of more deliberate than I'm obviously like a quite a talker, so I have a lot of words, and so writing a song helps me like slow down and focus on like what I'm actually feeling and thinking, and then give that to God.
Hmm.
So I think like when I release a song, I'm already grateful because I'm like, this has already been good for me and for my
Yeah.
soul to get to make this. And so it's super humbling when someone like hears those lyrics and hears what I wrote as my prayer and goes, I felt that way too.
Hmm.
And these words that you wrote apply to my life right
Yeah.
now. I think that is something that is just always encouraging to me and
Hmm.
always is like, wow, God is really at work, like regardless of what I do, because it's not like I personally was like, this person's going through this thing, this song might help you. It's like
Yeah.
he's orchestrating these connections, and so one thing that with the newest music that I've been hearing consistently is people just saying like this song gave words to something that I was feeling but didn't know how to say.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like that's super encouraging to me because
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really important to externalize what you're feeling and
Yeah.
to be able to process it. And so
Mm-hmm.
if my music can play a part in that, like, glory be to God, because that's all him. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel really grateful for that.
Yeah, it's so amazing hearing stories like that of artists who have written music, like have their own personal experiences and then how it's impacted somebody else's lives. So it's
Yeah,
really cool.
totally. Thanks.
Hmm. And then I have some rapid fire questions for you just for
Okay,
fun.
let's do it.
Okay, so first one, I have to ask this. What's your favorite healthy snack?
Well, that's a good question. Um, I would not have said this even a few years ago, but
Mm-hmm.
I've been married for a year and a half, and my wife is a great cook and a really
Mm-hmm.
healthy eater. And so I actually really love Brussels sprouts now. Like
Oh, nice.
when they're prepared really well,
Mm-hmm.
I really like them. And I absolutely would not have said that even just before I got married. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my favorite.
Yeah, roasted Brussels sprouts are good. Any
Mm.
other ones? Yeah,
Yeah, totally. They have to be roasted.
for
Absolutely.
sure. And then what's your favorite movie?
Oh, I have a few different genres. Like for like a funny movie, I love Nacho Libre. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can quote probably the whole thing like front to back. I also um I love the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy
Mm-hmm.
and all the Harry Potter movies. So those are kind of like my go-tos that I'm always watching.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And then favorite color?
Blue, for sure. I'm wearing a lot of yellow these days,
Yeah.
but blue's my favorite.
Nice. And then what was your favorite subject in school?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably probably English. I like
Mm-hmm.
writing and I like words, so but I also really liked Spanish. I only took like one semester of it, and I have absolutely lost everything I learned, but but I really enjoyed it. It was super fun.
Cool. And then what's your favorite spot to vacation at?
Ooh, that is a tough one. Probably my Okay, can I give a twofold answer?
Sure.
Um, so my favorite place I've ever been in the world is Positano, Italy, which is on
Mm-hmm.
the Amalfi Coast. It's just like gorgeous, like cliffside, seaside town,
Mm-hmm.
with amazing Italian cuisine. It's the best.
Awesome.
But probably my favorite place to like actually vacation and just go like sit and like relax is Mexico. Just
Oh, cool.
somewhere all
Mm-hmm.
inclusive on the beach. That's what I did for my honeymoon, and it was like so great to just sit and eat for a week.
Nice. Yeah, I've never been to either one of those places. I've really only been in the West Coast, but
Oh, nice. Well, the West Coast is pretty dope. We've got some good
yeah.
spots out here, so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. And then since we're getting close to Thanksgiving, what's your favorite Thanksgiving side dish?
Oh, so because of so I'm gluten intolerant. I can't eat
Mm-hmm.
any bread or wheat or anything.
Yeah.
But I have a wonderful father who has dedicated himself to making gluten-free stuffing
Oh,
because
nice.
both me and my mom and my sister are all gluten-free. So probably gluten-free stuffing because
Oh, nice.
I didn't think I was going to get to have it again, but
Mm-hmm.
here we
So is
are.
that used like with gluten-free bread, or is there
Hmm.
a mix for that?
Yep. Yeah, he makes it from scratch with
Oh, cool.
gluten-free bread. So, yep.
Nice. And then not a rapid fire question, but how can we be praying for you?
Oh, that's a good one. Um, Man, well, I think obviously this is a crazy year for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And the music industry has for sure been in a weird spot because like
Yeah.
no shows, like the music industry with no shows is
Mm-hmm.
so weird. So, I would love prayers just for I feel like I have a lot of ideas for where I want to go next with the music, and it's hard to shows are a big part of getting to keep doing music and getting to push it forth and be able to afford to
Mm-hmm.
have music be your job. And so yeah, I guess I would just love prayers for encouragement going forward in a crazy year, and also just that I would keep making things that the Lord wants me to make for
Mm-hmm.
whoever He wants to use them for, if it's one person or a bunch of people.
Yeah. Well, I'll be praying about that, and I know
Thank
our
you.
team will probably be praying about that too. So it
Appreciate
was so
that.
great getting to talk with you. And
Thank
I hope
you.
you and your family have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy your gluten-free stuffing.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy holidays to you.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Well, it's so great getting to talk with Peabod. This is going to continue to go on every month, maybe a little more depending on how things go, but keep an eye on our social media pages and we'll keep you all informed on when I'm going live next. And it was great getting to see you all, and I hope you have a great day and a happy Thanksgiving.